choices. Then you have to ask, where does inflation come from? And it comes from this lie. It comes from a complete nonsense. It's not the free market. It means we've never lived in a free market. We have no reference point of what the free market could do. And those systems are complete opposites. A debt-based system, which we've always lived in, must create more debt and can't allow deflation, because the debt-based system would collapse if we allowed deflation. And at the same time, the natural state of the free market is deflation. So a derivative of what I just said is we've never lived in a global free market. Never. So we have no reference point. We've lived in local free markets, the U.S., the founding of the U.S., individual rights and freedoms, with people moving from all over all countries to take advantage of their ideas, which created the wealthiest nation ever, was a local free market. And that's what drove the productivity of the U.S. until it was captured by central banking and slowly eaten away at. And as that slowly gets eaten away at, you can see the same constitution that created the U.S. and individual rights and freedoms come under attack. You can see laws changing to support Patriot Act and all of the state and all of the nonsense and everything else that essentially uses fear as a weapon to control you and tries to divide you. You can see all of the symptoms of the same system capturing more and more of that value that should naturally flow to you, because it has to, because a debt-based system, that credit must expand forever. And so anytime you're measuring Bitcoin in the piece of paper, you're still in the system of control.
When does a person become financially free?
So I think that's again an abstract concept of what they believe is financially free. I think there's a whole bunch of people who believe in this other system, which operates as a zero-sum game, that at some number that's on an ever-escalating number, that they will be free. And they're racing towards that number. And as they get to that number goes higher, because all of the things they need to pay for with that number move higher, because the money's broken and it moves it higher. So that concept is always moving, because the ground underneath them is shifting at such a rate, and they don't know the ground is shifting. And the ground wasn't shifting as fast as technology wasn't moving as exponentially one way, and debt had to rise exponentially the other way. So now if you ask somebody 2 years ago what their number was versus this year, the number has to have grown a lot, because they know, and they don't know this, but their money is losing value so fast that they're inside that game. Now, same thing on Bitcoin that people don't understand, right? If you had an energy-backed protocol that was decentralized and secure and it couldn't be broken, then what is that number? As more and more people contribute to that system and prices fall forever relative to that number, that instead of needing more and more and more in this system forever, you'd need less and less and less in the other system forever. They're exact opposites. And then you can ask other questions from those opposites and say, what would the world look like under both scenarios? And you should ask what the world looks like under both of those scenarios. And then you should ask yourself, my own time and my own energy, which scenario would I want my time and energy going into? What would it look like to me to apply my time to which one of those systems? And from that, you can see your own agency in creating the world that you think you're living in.
What does it mean then to be financially free in a Bitcoin world? Is it when you buy your first sat and you say, oh, this first sat there'll only be one sat per block in 2140. I am, better off now instantaneously, or is it a cheat code that you'll just get there faster?
So the reason why that question is deeper than just that question, there's many people who would buy that in an ETF and think they own Bitcoin when they own a derivative claim on Bitcoin. There's many people who are still measuring that SAT in a piece of paper and thinking Bitcoin's going up because the paper is going down. So what you're actually talking about is how deep you understand it, right? and then trying to explain how deep you understand it, where you are free and you're living in Bitcoin and you're spending in Bitcoin, you're contributing to Bitcoin and you're teaching other people, and your value is being created by helping a whole bunch of people understand this. And your depth is way deeper. And then you're asking a question as, when does somebody else get it, right? And we forget in ourselves that we were once them, right? That we also didn't know. And the first time we bought it as a hedge against a system, right? And we were still measuring it in a piece of paper. And then as we got deeper and deeper, we realized that, wait, this is a network and it's expanding and we're part of that network, and we're going to run a node, and we're going to spend in Bitcoin, and we're going to charge in Bitcoin. We're going to be part of an economy that's thriving and creating an economy that's thriving while everybody else is over here, right? And so as you go down the rabbit hole, I think that question that you can answer, I can answer, what it looks like to me now, has looked different at different stages down the rabbit hole. And that's why I have I don't care where somebody is, it doesn't matter, right? Taking the steps to be able to understand this, the curiosity to realize this is a system that has all of these things that I say I don't like about the world. This is a system that seems to be aligned more with my beliefs of what I think the world should look like. And then I choose.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log into any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.